As I was saying before, this is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Center and the National Dispatchers Network. Tonight is Wednesday night, so that means it is Q&A. I want to welcome all of our network members. Thank you all for joining us once again. Last night we had a very interesting broadcast. Talked about some predictions and things, and how I see it and some other people see it, and some things that are going down, not just in trucking, but with the financial markets. And we had a lot of people on Facebook and on Twitter and on LinkedIn. Once I shared it, there were a lot of people weighing in on that conversation from last night. No surprise, a lot of company drivers were, they were pretty taken aback. Quite a few of them actually they're saying that they could see the handwriting on the wall. They noticed a lot of things been going on with their companies. A lot of things been going on with the trucks, and this switching whole fleets out to automatic trucks with the with the monitors and the new AI and software and stuff, that they got in the trucks now. So they noticed something. They just didn't know quite what to make of it, but they've noticed something that's going on. So, but it is what it is. Okay, tonight is Q&A. So it's all questions and answers. Hope y'all got your questions ready. I'll try to answer you all as best I can. But before we get started, wait on Damon to get in here. He's waiting in the waiting room, waiting on him to join in. All right, as I was saying, before we get started, I want to reiterate some things. Again, we have a lot of new people signing up, and a lot of new people who have never been in the trucking industry before. So they may be not used to doing things a certain way. Okay, this platform is set up to start training you from the jump. From the time you enroll, immediately after you enroll, we start kind of subliminally training you all. We send you all these laid out instructions that you all have to follow to the letter in order to get fully acclimated and into the platform. Now, if you're the type of person who is not going to read all the information, or you're not going to follow all the instructions, you are going to have trouble getting into the platform. You're going to have trouble getting logged in and creating your, getting into the back office. You're going to have trouble getting onto the chat group. You're just going to have trouble because you're not following the instructions. Okay, and the instructions are laid out like that for a reason, because in this business, you have to start paying a close attention to detail. And you have to read the stuff that's put in front of you, because as I've told y'all many times before, if you're gonna get stuck on something, if a broker or someone is gonna screw you on something, it's gonna be in the details of the stuff that they're sending you for you to read, like your rate confirmation sheet and things of that nature. So make sure you are reading those things. Even when you send out your dispatch agreement, make sure when you get it back, nothing has been changed on it. Because sometimes you always send it out, some people might alter it and put some stuff in there to benefit them, and then they send it back, and you're none the wiser if you don't read it. So you have to make sure that you all read that stuff. Read everything that comes across in front of you. If you get a rate confirmation, read every word of it, because that's where you're going to get screwed at. Also, another thing I want to mention here too now, as I've said before, experience is the best teacher. Okay, if y'all don't believe me, Darren, don't you know more today than you knew yesterday about making deliveries to military bases?
Oh, yes.
I mean, now experience will teach you on it.
Oh, a lot. I still haven't dealt with that issue yet, but I'm trying to.
but you have learned a lot by
Yep.
by dealing with that. You've
Yes.
learned that now when you have anything that's dealing with a military base, you're gonna double and triple check some things.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm not gonna get into it. I'll let Darren get into it if that's what he wants to do. But you know, you all just make sure that you all, if you're, especially if you're doing the auto hauling, if the client is giving you an address, especially to a military base, because sometimes those military bases can be huge. Like this one, it takes, if you go to the wrong entrance and that entrance is permanently closed, and the next nearest entrance is on the other side of the base, it could be 4 hours away, because some of these bases are up in the mountains, and you got to go. And some of these bases are a couple of 100 miles, you know, big. I mean, there's big bases out there. So if you're delivering to a military installation, if you got stuff going to a military installation, especially cars, and the client gives you an address or give the address to the carrier is just going to punch it into the GPS, and the GPS is going to tell them where to go. Now, it's on the client to let that carrier know if there are more than one entrance. And if one or two of the entrances are permanently closed, sealed off, no entry, then they should have let that carrier know that. It's not, you know, the carrier's got other stuff that he has to deliver other than that vehicle. So when he gets to where his GPS has led him to, and he gets there and realizes that he can't get into the base, and then he called the client, and the client said, "Oh, well, you're at the wrong gate." "I'm at the wrong gate. Well, where's the other gate? It's on the other side of the mountain." "Well, hold up. How far?" "Oh, it's about 3.5, 4 hours away." No. Here's what the carrier's gonna do. The carrier's gonna drop that vehicle with at a gas station or a car dealership or someplace that he can leave that vehicle, and he's gonna continue on to where he needs to go, and he's gonna notify the client or the dispatcher that client can go and pick that vehicle up. Okay. Now, that causes, you know, a little bit of a problem. Why? Because the client doesn't want to admit that they was wrong when they clearly was. You know, they don't want to admit their culpability in the problem, and then they want to claim that the service is no good because, you know, the carrier dropped the vehicle where they told him to be at. They gave him the address, but he gave him the wrong entry address. Okay, because the addresses have different addresses on different entrances, and it's up to that client to know what interest is closest to them. They can't just say, "Well, bring it to the military base at such and such." They gotta they should give a little bit more information than that, because those military installations are, I mean, they're huge. I mean, they're like a city. Some of them are big as, you know. I mean, they are huge, you know. And this particular one was how big, Darren? It was about 300-400 miles. No, about 200 miles.
I don't know how big, but it would take the driver 6 hours to get back to the other side.
Yeah, and in the mountains, that's got to be at least about 200 miles. Because if he's in the mountains,
it was almost 2.
Yeah, because he's in the mountains. He's already got to drive slow going up and down the mountains. And then, you know, the base being so big, 6 hours. There's no way that driver's going to, you know, delay his drop on all this other stuff just to reroute and go 6 hours around to the other side of the mountain. So, you know, so what's left with that is you got to find a way to please the customer, please the driver. You know, fortunate enough, you know, the driver was accommodating and giving up some of his pay to accommodate the customer. And of course, Darren is always going to be accommodating to give up his pay to accommodate the customer, and trying to arrange to get some type of either pay for a rental car or reimburse the customer for a rental car for them to grab a rental, go pick up the car, and then send Darren the bill, and he will then they can work on reimbursing that that customer. Now that brings up an interesting point. As you're making money, because you're making good money, if you're in that type of situation where you're doing auto hauling and you're making money, don't spend all your money. put money aside, because these things can and will happen. Okay, it was really not Darren's fault. It's not the carrier's fault. It was something that was unforeseen. They're going based on, we assume that people know where they live, right? So when they give you the address, we assume that they know where they live. So, if they give you the address and the GPS leads you to that spot, and then they tell you, oh, I don't live there, then that's on them. It really is on them, because they have led you to the wrong place. Okay, they gave you the wrong address. So that was really the customer's fault, but they'll never admit it. If Darren and the auto hauler hadn't wasn't willing to bend over backwards, that customer would very well call up U-Ship and then complain, knowing good and well that it was all their fault. But that's the business, right? All right. So, but now, like we said, Darren now knows more about military bases than he did yesterday. Why? Because experience is the best teacher. It really is. You learn more from experience than anything else. So now, whenever he runs and has something that's going to a military installation, he's going to double check the address. He's going to double check to see if there's other entrances. He's going to call the base and see if there are entrances that are permanently closed, and if they are closed, which entrances are not closed that we can gain entry to. But these are things that you can't foresee these things without being all knowing, and nobody is all knowing. Nobody. So, but you would think that people would know their own location. When they give an address, they should have known that would lead to one of the closed entrances, and they should have researched and double checked to know where they are living. So, but anyway, it is what it is. It's part of the business. When you're making money, you gotta take the up and down. That's business. All days ain't just ease or pie. Ease of money. Some days it's hard money. You gotta. And some days you really gotta work for it. All right, there.
Yeah, this one have been working all day.
Yeah. So, but that's just part of the business. That's part of the
working
business.
all day today.
That's part of the business. When you're working like that, and you got that lets you know that you're doing something. You're making moves. And when you make moves, things get ruffled around, and sometimes things don't go exactly where you plan them. All right. Q&A. A lot of questions. We had some people call me up today. Look, if it's Wednesday, especially on Q&A day, if you're calling me up to ask me a whole bunch of stuff, save it for Q&A, because I don't have a whole lot of time during the day. Now, if it's something like what Darren had, that's fine, because that's something that pops up and is real important, and it needs to know how to handle that. But if you just calling me up to ask me about how do I do this, or how do I what should I do if this happens and that happens, if it's on Wednesdays, come on, really save it for Q&A, because I don't have a whole lot of time to spend outside of the time that I spend with you all. That's why I'm here most every Wednesday, and every Tuesday and Wednesday. And lately I've been here on some Mondays. Now we get back to students wanting to do the broadcast, on Mondays, but then I'll have, be able to kind of break away on Mondays. But Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, you all know that's when we book all of our private consultations. So I have private consultations during the day on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Most times from 9:30 or 10 a.m. right up until 4:30, 5 o'clock. Okay, because the last one gets booked at 4 o'clock, and it could go an hour long. So that could take me, right up to 5, on something like that. So if you're trying to get in touch with me during the day, during those times, I mean, really, I mean, I just don't have the time. I've got private consultations. I've got stuff that I'm working on, trying to get ready. I've got 2 launches that we're trying to get launched like right away. And there's a 3rd website that I'm still working on. I'm still working on the auto hauler site. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing. I've got the assurance business that I'm trying to get ready for us to start, getting a price on what the assurance agencies are going to cost and getting it out there to people and seeing if they can afford it, seeing if they can pull together the funds to make that assurance to get their own agency. We got to start hiring people and screening people for the agents position, and we got to start training. So I'm busy. I am extremely busy. I'm also in talks with different people, the factoring companies, trying to work out a deal with them so that they can finance, the premium, the baseline premium amount, as well as get their products ready for you all to do your own factoring, and things of that nature. I'm dealing with, with artificial intelligence software companies. They're sending me stuff, and I'm talking to people left and right. You all, sometimes you're sending me software that you want me to review and to see if it has a place within our network, and to give you advice to see if it has a place within the industry. So just kind of think it out before you pick up that phone call and say, let me call and ask Calvin these 4 or 5 questions. He won't mind. He got the time. No, I do not. I really don't have the time. So, but that's why I make time for you all Monday nights, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and every every Saturday. Lately, our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday sessions, they've been running hour and a half, 2, sometimes 3 hours. Last night we shut down at 10 after 10 o'clock. It was 10:45. Last week we went well up into past 10 on just about every night we was here. So I try to make enough time for you all so that you all can ask questions during these times. But during the days when I'm working on other stuff, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on other stuff. So kind of keep that in mind. Kind of just be a little bit more conscious and considerate, and just know that write down your questions when you get into live training. Then ask questions, because I'm here. So sometimes I come here and I ask y'all who has questions, and nobody even want to speak up. But you'll wait till the next day and then call me when I got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to get done for the networking, for the platform and stuff like that. That's not being efficient. That's not the way to do that. If we set aside time for the questions, that's the time you should be asking the questions. All right. So tonight is Q&A, all questions and answers. So let's get started. Who's up first?
Hey, Calvin, this is Dennis. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it usual for when you call the shippers for them to say that you need to register with their company before you're able to book loads?
Yeah. In most cases.
So we're authorized to give that company our carrier's information.
Yeah, because what they're gonna do is just like a broker. All right, it's the same thing. When you call up a broker for a load, what's the first thing they ask for?
The MC number.
And DOT number. Why? Because they're gonna see if that carrier is good to go with running those loads, right?
Right.
And if that carrier is not, what are they gonna ask for?
I'm not sure.
They're gonna ask you to fill out a broker packet. They're gonna say, well, that carrier needs to fill out our carrier broker packet or our carrier broker agreement. or that carrier's got to get signed on with us. That's what all that means. Same thing when you're dealing with a shipper. A shipper is just not going to let you blindly load somebody up without them knowing who they are or what type of history they have, or if they have the correct insurance. Or I mean, now you do understand that, right?
Yes.
Because they have to make sure that their freight is going on to a respectable, reliable transport. So they're going to ask you pretty much the same thing that the broker. I'm just going to ask you, you know. And frankly, if you get that far with a shipper, you're doing good. I'm being honest with you. If you got a shipper asking you for your carrier's information, that means they are genuinely interested in letting you do what? Get the load list every morning, right? So that's what you want a shipper to do, especially a shipper. That's what you want to hear. When you get to that point, that means you gotten over the hump. They're genuinely interested, and you got them on the hook. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Next question.
Hey, Calvin, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's for Damien, if you excuse me.
Sure.
Damien, how detrimental is it to your business when you can't move a car? You time out and it just doesn't move on Central, or do you choose the market is what it is right now. Just how afraid are you maybe to, take a gamble on these cars?
I'm not afraid. It's just that the only thing is if you don't get a carrier to pick it up, you'll pay a higher percentage on U-ship. But I just try to stick to cars in certain areas where I know more than likely they'll be picked up. But you still may have that car for a while because there's not enough drivers. So you have to wait for that one driver to get back around to that location again. But I don't really pay too much mind.
Yeah. And one other thing you have to think that you're gonna have to take into consideration. Darren has been doing this for a while. He has, some resources that you all may not have, because he had, like I said, he has some carriers who are in his back pocket. So he inherently knows how to stick to the areas of where his strong points are. Okay, so because he's been doing it for a while, he's obviously got some funds that's saved up, so he can afford to take more risk than you all can. This is why when we tell y'all, when y'all start doing auto hauling, stick to the strategy until you get to a point where you do have reserve cash, where you do have some carriers who have called you up and say, hey, I like to do business directly with you. And you start positioning carriers in certain states, along that Mason-Dixon line. So because then you don't feel so bad about, or so anxious or so cautious about bidding on something and then placing it on Central Dispatch. Why? Because you got some measure of backup. Okay. But until you get to that point, you need to stick to the strategy. That's why we tell you all try not to bid on anything under 1,800. Why? Because if you bid on something that's 1,800, right, and you cut it in half, you got a $900 winning bid. So you got room to place it on Central Dispatch, and if you're sticking to the southern states, right? Remember, those carriers, they're used to getting paid, what, 150, 175, 200, 275, maybe $350 a car. But you just want to bid for 900. So that means you're posting it on Central Dispatch for what? 600, 650, and you're keeping 175 to 200 to maybe 250. So, but you're posting on there where it's twice as much as what they are used to getting at their top end. So you're pretty much almost guaranteeing that somebody's going to want to grab that. You see why the strategy is what it is? Because if you were to start off and you would look down and say, I see this is only right here, $1,200. I know Cal would say I shouldn't bid it, but guess what? I'm gonna bid on that. I can break that down to about 700 and then post it on Central Dispatch, and then you still got to get there 15%, and then I'm on. I can live with $100, $150, $200 and post it on there for around about $350. but then you put it on there and nobody takes it because it wasn't attractive enough. The bait wasn't big enough. You see what I'm saying? So you run the risk when you try to get away from the strategy, you run the risk of doing just that, what you are concerned about. So in the beginning, stick with the strategy until you get very, very, very comfortable with doing this, until you get some resources in your back, at your back door, so that when stuff do happen, you have people you can call upon and say, hey, look, man, I got a vehicle that's supposed to got picked up, but it didn't, but it's close to where you are. You think you can take one of your carriers that you have set aside out for me and run it up there and grab it? It's paying this much money. That's the difference, okay? So make sure you all stick with the strategies, especially in dealing with auto hauling, because it's one of those things where you really got to be business savvy. You really got to be business savvy. And even when you know a lot about it, it can still trip you up. Right there, it can still trip you up.
Yes, it could.
Okay.
Because sometimes you have clients that even when it passed, their deadline, it's like they have no patience because they don't know the business. If they say they want the 18th, they think it's going to get picked up on the 18th. I mean, I have 3 cancellation where the same day they cancel, that's the same day I get a call for the to pick up the, because I still had it there on Central Dispatch.
Yeah.
So what I do, sometimes I call them, hey, a driver called today to pick up the vehicle. Is it still available? Oh no, I make other plans. Just because they don't have no patience, because they don't know the business.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's why I tell a client, I do not want to guarantee you a pickup date. If you tell me you want your car picked up on the 18th, I'm not going to tell that client that the car is going to get picked up on the 18th. I'll just tell them I'll try to do my best to get that car picked up within their time frame. But I won't guarantee a client a pickup date.
Yeah, and sometimes it may require you to go into just kind of educating the client a little bit.
Yeah.
About the industry, because they just don't know.
They don't know.
They don't do this every day like you do. So sometimes you have to educate them, about the industry. Okay, but good question though.
And Mr. Butler, I got a question.
Sure.
How will I seen last night, I wasn't on here with you guys, but I watched it on YouTube, and it was very informative. But how, with your prediction, do you predict this would affect the dispatching part of the industry?
It's not going to affect dispatching, not the independent dispatchers, which is what you all are. It's not going to affect brokers that much, because it's not going to affect the owner operators. If anything, it's going to increase the size of owner operators' businesses, because once they start laying off all of these company drivers, or a lot of these company drivers who are not willing or not able to, or just have no interest in going back to school and learning a new skill set, because you got approximately 3.5 million company drivers out there. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm one of them. So
yeah, and a good portion of them. Now you're gonna have about 500,000, 500,000 of them that are gonna make that transition from a driver to an analyst or a systems monitoring analyst or a tech. They're gonna make that transition. A lot of the younger guys who are used to computers, they won't be so afraid of it. They'll make that transition. Especially a lot of guys who have had some type of after high school training, college, junior college, or who are up on computers, and those guys who are not afraid of computers. They'll make the transition. But you're gonna have a lot of people who are just not gonna be able to make that transition, either because they just don't understand it, or because they're afraid of it, or they just feel like, hey, I'm too old to go back to school, or I'm just a good old boy and all I want to do is drive trucks. I don't want to sit there and work on no computer and have to fix this and take down, and record this and record that, to check the temperature on this doggone thing, to check my systems, to run the analysis every morning, when I get up, because that's going to be the job. The job is not going to be, driving the truck. The job is going to be making sure all of the systems are working properly so that the system can drive the truck. That's what your job is going to be. Now, you may have to get out and still do like a pre-check, and look up underneath the truck and check to see if everything's still hooked up right, make sure the system is working properly. But you're going to have to go through your, it's going to be like going through pre-flight. You got to check, yeah, that's check. This check, yep. The temperature on this is right, yep. That's right. The pressure here is right, yeah, that's right. Okay, run the optics test on the system itself, on the AI, and everything checks out. Okay, truck's ready to go. And just put it in driver mode and just let the system do what it does. And your job is to sit there and from time to time, periodically check to make sure everything is working at its optimal level. Now, when that happens, like I said, you're gonna have about 3 million, guys who are just gonna, be out of work or force themselves out of work, or they just can't make that, and they're just not gonna make that transition. And you're gonna have about 500,000 of them that do. That's still a lot of people, 500,000 people. Now, someone asked me today, well, where are they gonna get all these people? What do you mean where they're gonna get them? There are people like that being trained every day. People who go to these computer tech schools, computer programmers, people who are, not wanting to just go sit in an office behind a desk. They want to, and they may like or want to get out there on the road, especially if they don't have to know a whole lot about driving the truck. Now, they still are gonna have to know something about driving the truck. So they're still gonna have to go through some type of training. It won't be as intense on the truck driving side as it is now, but they still gonna have to know the basics of what? Pulling the truck in somewhere, backing it up every now and then, or if the system goes down, they gotta take over and get that truck to a place so they can either swap the AI out or repair that's dead if they can't do it themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you're gonna have a lot of people who are not gonna be able to make that transition. Now, will this affect the owner operators? In a positive way, yes. Because first of all, you're gonna have a lot of qualified drivers who are gonna be available, right? So owner operators who are looking to expand their business, they have plenty of qualified drivers to choose from. And the owner operator business is going to get even better because there's always going to be companies out there that owner operators can go and pick up freight for. Even though the lion's share of the business, which is company drivers, these big companies are going to automated trucks, and they're doing that solely because of money. They get to save money, lower the operating cost by almost 60%. That when you weigh that on the bottom line, that's a hell of a lot more profits. Shippers can now do what? Cut rates even more. Why? Because a self-driving truck doesn't require as much to run a load as one that has two drivers in it, like a long haul. Now long haul, it can be done with just one person in the truck. And even the short loads, that one person, doesn't have to do very much. So, it's purely a cost thing. And they're just looking at the bottom line. But for the owner operators, it's going to get better. Why? Because their business is going to experience growth. And you're going to have more people becoming owner operators as a result of it. So the pool of owner operators is going to get bigger. It's going to get larger. It's estimated that, out of the 3 million guys that have, that can't make that transition, you're going to have about 1 million of them that are going to be able to get their own truck. So the owner operators is going to go from what? 350,000 owner operators that are registered right now to almost 1 million owner operators that are registered, almost 1,200 to 1,300. I mean, I'm sorry, 1.3 million, 1.2 million, owner operators. So, it's just going to that side of it is going to increase. Now, when that side increase, when owner operators increase, what does that raise the demand for what?
For us.
Exactly. More independent dispatch firms, larger growth within your firms, and things of that nature. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just,
I don't want to eat up there like that.
it's just doom and gloom for a certain segment of the industry.
If you make a mess, I'm coming for you.
Okay? That's all it is.
Evan,
All right.
Can I ask you also one more question?
Sure. That's what we're here.
Okay. I was looking into getting my LLC formatted in Georgia. I'm from Georgia, but I was trying to figure out exactly when they say appointed registered agent, what exactly is that? Because it's very broad. They're not really giving much detail.
Your registered agent is a person who makes sure all your filings are okay when you got to have your annual report done. That's a person that keeps all your records for your corporation. And so if the federal government calls up and says, "Hey, I want to see the annual reports and the filings and stuff like that," okay, they're the ones who kind of keep track of all that stuff and make sure all that stuff is done. I'm sure I'm talking about Sunbiz. I'm sure your minds. You can do it yourself. You can be your own registered agent. I would not recommend it, but you can do it. I did it for a while, but if your business, well, I did it when I had businesses that wasn't that successful. Let's put it that way. But when your business starts getting very successful and you're bringing in a lot of money, you got to have good records, right? You want to have someone who's able to handle that. So let's show you what I'm talking about here. Division of Florida of Corporations. Let's go search by name and put in, let's put in the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. All right, there I am right there. There's RBBS Transport right there, both those right there. I just, my registered agent just filed my annual report just recently. And they actually today, they did an address change for my business. So when stuff like that happens, that's what your registered agent does. Now, as you'll see right here, my registered agent is Rocket Lawyer. I'll show you here. See right here? Certified name and address of current registered agent, Rocket Lawyer, Corporate Services Incorporated. And they have an office here in Tallahassee, 155 Office Plaza Drive, first floor, Tallahassee, Florida. So, and this is the person who's in charge, who signs off for Rocket Lawyer. Okay? Y'all see? So that's what your registered agent does. They take care of all this stuff. They make sure all this stuff like this. You see all this stuff here? All that stuff, right there. My annual report for 2019, they did that one. The annual report for 2020. The Florida Limited Liability, they're also the one who set up my company. And they're the ones who's filing the amendments. Like anytime you have anything that changes within your company, amendments and stuff, you're gonna have that done. They're also my registered agent for the new business, which is, and we did a name change on that one, and they're gonna change the name on that one because they gotta add the RBBS to it. But on the Assurance USA. And there it is right there, Assurance USA Inc. Okay. And here it is again. This is an S corp, not a limited liability. Okay, this is an S corp, and there they are, Rocket Lawyer. Okay, they're the ones who filed my initial corporation. You can pull it up and look at it, and there's my incorporation papers right there, the electronic articles of incorporation for Assurance USA Incorporated. And it goes on to, list the address and, what the business is, and, who is the, my registered agent, name and address of incorporated is, and down here, the initial officer and or directors of the corporation is me. So there you go. Okay. So, but they're the ones who take care of that. They're the ones who make sure all your stuff is in good condition with the state of Florida. They make sure they file your annual report when it needs to be filed. They're the ones to make sure your business stays in business legally. Okay.
Is Rocket Lawyer pretty? I guess
I've been with, I was paying $39 or $45 a month, and because I've been with them for 3 years now, they just cut my rate in half and have the same service. So now I pay like $24.99 a month, something like that now, because I've been with them so long. But top out, you can get it's only like $39 a month. Come up with tax, it comes like about $42 a month, something like that. It's not expensive, especially for what they do. When you look at all the stuff, I've incorporated, several businesses through Rocket Lawyer. Now, they do charge you a fee for it. You'll pay them about $150 for, for anywhere from $150 up to about $275 to $300 on incorporations. But they will handle all of your, your stuff from then on out with that business. They're the ones that I got to file my patents and my trademark with. They took care of putting me in touch with a patent attorney, so they have them on call, and so they're the ones that got they got me in there with a good patent attorney, and got that done quickly, and our trademarks, things of that nature. If someone sues your business, they have an attorney network that they will refer you over to, so that you would be represented, in case of something like that. So it's a pretty good thing. And just the let's see, show you here. Just by affordable legal service, Rocket Lawyer, just by log in here. Let me sign in real quick. I think that's the right login. Combination didn't work. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right login.
I was here, Kevin. It's a pretty good company. I've used them, and they're pretty efficient.
Oh yeah,
I think I got my LLC within about 7 days.
I'm trying to make sure I got my right
name
login.
of that company?
Rocket Lawyer.
Yeah, my Rocket Lawyer.
I can't remember my password on this computer. It's saved on my other computer. I can't seem to remember it on this computer. I'm not worried about it. But anyway, it's a pretty good company though. It is a very good company. Let's see here. You save logins. Oh, see, I don't have any saved logins on this computer. That's why. All right. But it's a pretty good company though. You know, they do a lot. They've got the like if you go in there and you want to draft if you want to draft some type of contract, you can go ahead and you type in what type of contract it is. It'll pull up the template for it, and then it'll just ask you questions. Okay, you know, what's the person's who is the the author of the contract? You know, you put in your name, okay, your company name, okay, your address, phone number, all right. Then it puts in all the legal terminology for that contract, and you're reading it, and you can change stuff if you want to make it fit exactly how you want it to fit. Then it asks you who is the the other partner or the other person you're going to do the contract with. What's their name? What's their address? What's their email address? All that type of stuff. You put that in. Then it fills out the rest of it. It does all the indemnifications and everything. All of it's in legal terminology. And at the very end, it tells you to finish the contract. You click, submit the contract. Then it will email it to them for them to DocuSign. And then when they sign it, it will come back to you and you sign it. Bam, and it's done. You got a contract. Then you can print it up. Whole 9 yards. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Okay, but that's what I recommend. Now, there are other stuff out there, but I like Rocket Lawyer because it allows me to do a lot of stuff. It's got they seem to have every type of contract, every type of agreement you can think of. They got the templates for it already there, and all it does is just asks you questions, and you just answer the questions, and bam, you got a nice, professionally done, legally binding contract. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next question.
Hi, good night, Calvin. This is Sheridan.
Hey, Sharon, how you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing great. It's raining here. Tornado watch not here, but in my hometown of Quincy, Florida. Way out there in what they call Dogtown. I was watching the news tonight. Called my mom.
Wow.
She said that the winds were blowing pretty hard, but it seemed to have missed them, and it's headed up through Alapugos and on up into Georgia now.
Wow. It's quite cold here, like 13 degrees.
Wow.
Woo, yes, I have a question. I know. I have a question about auto haul. Maybe you and Damon can answer. Sure. What are some common questions the shipper asks after you win the bid at UShip? Did you hear me?
Well, if you have everything in order, if you have set up your website kind of like the way Damien has his, and you have been transparent on how you operate and stuff in this net, they really don't ask you nothing. Right, Damien? Now I'll let Damon weigh in on that, but if you got everything that's set up correctly, there's not much for them to ask because everything is kind of spelled out. They may ask you for your EIN number and your and to see your incorporation papers or something like that. Or ask for the link to whatever state you're filed in, and they can check your incorporation papers. But other than that, that's about it. Right there.
Yeah, that's right. I never had a customer that asked me for any. The only thing
I think she said
on UShip. On UShip.
What does UShip ask you for?
No, I'm asking when I win the bid on UShip, what common questions the shipper would ask me?
Oh, you mean the customer?
Oh, the customer, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
The customer.
Right. Well,
that's a common question. They just ask you how long before you pick up the vehicle.
Yeah.
Or they may ask for proof of insurance. Only time I've been asked for proof of insurance is when I'm dealing with a dealer. They ask me for, just to see the type of insurance that the carrier has. But they don't really ask you much question as a regular shipper. They just want to know when their car is getting picked up.
Exactly. Because remember, these are not professional shippers. UShip is it's designed for just the average person who is moving, someone who got a job change, someone who just graduated from college, someone who's being moved by the military, or whatever the case may be. So they're just run-of-the-mill, everyday average people who really don't have any ties to the logistics or shipping industry or freight industry or anything whatsoever. So they're gonna ask you pretty common sense questions like, what time is my car gonna get delivered? What day can it be picked up? Stuff like that. It's gonna be very, very, very seldom one is gonna ask you any real pertinent questions like an actual shipper would. Okay, and here again, if you have your stuff set up right, because when you make those bids, now you have some questions if you're following the strategy, because if you're cutting the bid in half or what everyone else is bidding, they're gonna take notice of it. Then they're gonna go and visit your website just to see if you're legit. Because if you just cut a $2,000 bid down to $1,000, when everybody else was just being a $50 less than here, $20 less than here, maybe $100 less, but you just knocked $1,000 off of it. So now they're going to see, who is this person that knocked $1,000 off this, right? And so they're going to go and check out your website. Now, if your website looks nice, if your website is the way it's supposed to be, if it looks, anything like this right here, if you got a very, very nice looking website, very professional, very transparent, it showcases all your highlights and things that you do professionally, then when they see that, they're probably going to give you a call. And they're going to ask you, I'm quite sure you get this, I'm asked a lot, Darren, is that a legitimate bid? Or did you mean to bid that low? Or is that correct? Or something
Yes.
of that nature?
I had that when I just started. A guy called me because they had a pickup truck. He was like, I was just wondering because that bid was kind of low. So I said, it's accurate. There's no additional fee. They'll ask you if there's any additional fees as far as insurance and so forth. So
Exactly.
You'll get as well.
Yeah. So those are the questions you're going to get because they can't. Because a lot of them are shocked that you can do the job for a lot less than what they're getting bids for on U-Ship. Because a lot of the people on U-Ship, they're hot shots. They've got they can pull one car or maybe two cars. So they got to charge a lot because, they're not putting 8, 9, 10, 11 cars on there, so they got to charge a lot. That's why the strategy works so well in your favor.
Thank you.
No problem, anytime. Good question. Next question. Yeah.
It's Darlene. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. I have a question. This Uber freight, do you foresee it having an impact on dispatchers?
Someone sent me something to review that's kind of along those lines. And what they sent me could have a huge impact positively on dispatchers if they know how to use it right. Uber Freight is one of those things that we talked about last, it's in the same category as what we talked about last night about things going to an automated type of system, going to a digital world. That's just the sign of the times. Now, there are always going to be people who are going to use that type of stuff like Amazon and Uber and this and that. But as we already said, owner operators, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
So we're still going to have our target clientele. Because remember, our clientele is owner operator. It has nothing to do with what Uber Freight does or what the other carriers, what the bigger carriers do if they go autonomous driving trucks, whatever. That has nothing to do with the people who we deal with. That has nothing to do with our market. Because we deal with owner operators. That's who we represent. That's who we're there for. That's why they would never, ever, ever, get to a point to where they, like, a guy's been sending me and Darren stuff, constantly about he watched some guy on YouTube that said that dispatching was illegal and that the Federal Motor Carrier Association was going to start cracking down on it and enforcing, you know, the the illegality of dispatching. They've been having that conversation for the last 20 years. Okay. Okay. And when I looked at what the guy had, the guy was basically trying to sell his services. That's all it was. And when you dig into what he's saying the exact same thing that I've been telling you all. As long as you are a legal business, right, and you are operating in the manner that the statute says you can, you've got nothing to worry about. Now, as he was saying, you must be a legal business. In other words, you must have what? An EIN number. You must be registered with your state as an LLC or corporation or partnership or sole proprietorship or something, right? You have to be a legal business.
Right.
Now, do you have a lot of dispatchers out there who don't have any type of LLC or anything? No, yes, you do. A lot of them just operate just underneath their name.
Right.
Joe Blow Dispatch, you know, or whatever the case may be. They don't have any type of legal entity or anything. Excuse me, it's got the hiccups. Now, those are indeed operating outside of the statute. They're operating outside of the legality. Okay? And what this guy was offering, when you, even after listening to all the stuff he said, it boils down to, I can get you legal. I'll file for your EIN, which is free for
Right.
$175. I'll file your incorporation papers for $525, but you can get it done for $275 in most places, right?
Right.
He was just trying to make money. And he got a lot of people upset, and like the guy was calling Darren on Facebook, and you know, sending us messages. You know, hey, we gotta take a look at this. You know, I'm worried. I said, dude, my suggestion is stop looking at that crazy stuff on YouTube. You won't be so worried. You know, I mean, let's face it. You know, present company excluded, but social media is not real news.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Anybody that has access to a computer and a camera can put stuff on YouTube and on social media. So if you're getting worried about a YouTuber, you know, saying some stuff, then you're in the wrong business, because there's a lot more legitimate things that will happen in this business that will cause you a lot more worry. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
if you can't handle what people are saying on YouTube, then trust me, you're in the wrong line of work. You need to go find you something safe to do. This is going to give you a heart attack. Right, Darren? You know, you got a problem like what Darren ran into today. You know, that probably gives that poor dude a stroke. You know, but it's part of the business. Okay?
Right. Thank you.
All right. Next question. Y'all are doing good. Now, if y'all give me a break, I might think y'all through it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm tired. I'm ready to jump in this bed back here and just knock out. But do we have any more questions?
Okay, I got a question.
I have a question, Kevin. I have about probably like 18 carriers that I've spoken to and sent them the packages. A couple of them I've recalled because it was over 2 days. One or two I've been able to get through to, but they were driving. They said they would get back to me, but that hasn't happened. I'm just wondering if, you know, to get an idea of whether I should just send them a text or, you know, as a reminder, rather than calling them at a time where they would be driving and not able to.
Let me ask you a question. Have you hit them with the follow-up pitch?
Oh yeah, I didn't quite spelled out like every word of it, but I made them understand what.
No. Have you hit them with the follow-up pitch?
Yeah, I today I called the guys like, you know, you didn't get back to me, but I'm here looking at loads that are in 2006.
All right, good.
That you're missing out on.
All right.
He
So
did say he was driving and he was gonna, you know, when he parked the truck and stuff, he was on the back, right?
yeah. Yeah. You know, the best thing you can do with that is just keep following up with, you know, pressure the hell out of. I mean, really, you got nothing better to do. Pressure the hell out of. You know, try to get someone to sign up to what's called it. You know, I understand that right now the follow-up pitch is not going to be as effective because loans are kind of scarce and in between right now. But trust me, this will not last. Okay, this will not last. I heard some great news today. I don't know if y'all watch the news, but they have they've come up with a treatment for the coronavirus. They've come up with a drug, is rental something, whatever, is rental something, but they was using it to treat the Ebola, but it has been remarkably well with blocking the virus and, you know, blocking the virus from causing damage to the body. So now they actually have a real treatment, you know, a real drug. Let me see if I can find some on it here. What's this? MSN.com. Let me see if I can find something on it here. It's probably all over the news.
Yeah, I've seen that today, Mr. Butler, on the news.
Yeah, it's probably all over the news things today about this new drug. Let me see here. I'll put in new coronavirus treatment. New let's say new coronavirus treatment. Here we go. Update. All right, it's this new drug. There it is right there. What is that? Remdesivir? It's called remdesivir, but that's it. And it basically blocks the virus within your body. Now, it doesn't get rid of it, but it stops the virus from attacking, you know, all of the things that cause you to die. You know, cause you from attacking your respiratory system, from attacking your cardiovascular system, from attacking your lungs and all that type of stuff. It pretty much acts like a shield. Okay, so and when applying this drug, people have been known to get better within a couple of days. So, and these are people who were on ventilators before and could barely talk, barely open up their eyes. They put them on this drug, you know, on the IV drip with this drug, and a couple of days later, you know, they're breathing on their own again. Because it's buying them the time that they need for their body to repair itself. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep, from what I understood, yeah.
Now, I want y'all to watch something. Because of that, remember last night when we were looking at the Bitcoin? What was it at last night, y'all? It was down around 7 or something, right?
Yep, it sure was.
Y'all see where? Y'all see what it's doing now? It's climbing.
Yeah.
Because the market is starting to respond to that good news. This is what happened. I told you all this is what happened. I made a little bit more money because last night that was at what? Just $100, right?
Yeah.
You see, so I made a little bit more money. I'm still waiting on my $1,000 to hit from my bank account so I can go in and snap up, a lot more of this. Because I still intend to invest $1,000 each week into Bitcoin until it gets at least back up to where it was around about 14, 15,000. Okay, so I intend to invest that much every week, and get as much of it as I can, because this trend is going to continue. Now, it may come a point when it may drop a little bit more. So what would I do now? I'll buy even more of it. I really wanted to drop all the way back down to where it was, about a month ago. If I can catch it, let's go 3 months back. If I can catch that bad boy when it dropped down to about, that right there. You know what I'm saying? And at one time it was below 3,000 or below 4,000. I can't seem to find that mark, but at one time it was below, 3,000. That was just back in March or February, if I'm not mistaken. But it had dropped.
Hey, Calvin.
And if I could catch like that, that would be great. So, but the markets are starting to respond to the news of what's going on. So,
Calvin.
yeah.
I actually did signed up after I got after the meeting last night with $99, and my was at 109.
Exactly. So you see how you've already started. I'm making money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, as it goes up higher, 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 the more money you make. And this is how wealth is. This is how wealth is really big. And you made that off of what? 0.16 something percent of a Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now is 0.0118496.
Yeah, that's a percentage of the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That you're on. Mine is based on 0.0129346% of a Bitcoin. Because see, Bitcoins, they're made up of statues. Each Bitcoin has somewhere close to a million statues. Okay, so when you add up all those statues, they make up one Bitcoin. And right now, that one Bitcoin is worth that much money. Y'all see that? $8,858.59, going up 66 cents, going up 98 cents. Y'all see what happened? It dips and rises, but it's steadily gaining traction. Now, when I bought into it, this is where I bought in at. When it was $7,698.72. That's where I bought in at for my $99.50. That's what it cost me. I paid $99.58. That's what I bought in at. And now my $99.58 has risen to $114.55, and up and down, it's going up and down, but it's steady climbing. Now, when I put another grand into this, that's going to jump considerably, right? When I put another grand into this, that means I have more statues within a Bitcoin. So you don't have to have $8,000, almost $9,000 to invest in Bitcoin. You don't have to buy the whole coin. You don't have to buy 2 or 3 coins. You can buy just one statue, of a Bitcoin. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then you just ride it out. And if you just increase that, or if you invest the same amount every week, if it's $90, it's $90. If it's $90 a week, it's $90 a week. If it's $90 a month, it's $90 a month. Okay, if it's $100, if it's $150 a month or $200 a month, whatever it is you whatever disposable cash you throw away right now. And when I say throw away, I mean spend it on just frivolous stuff. The stuff that you really ain't got no business spending money on, but you do it anyway, right? We all, every last one of us does that, right? Right?
Yep.
How many of y'all bought lottery tickets this past week? Right? I made a habit. I used to buy, I caught up in the lottery craze one time because I actually won close to 11 grand once. The lottery. I had 5 out of 6 of the I had 5 out of no, I had 5. It was in the lottery. Yeah, it was lottery. I had 5 out of 6 of the lottery numbers. And the last one was off by 2 numbers. And the pot was like 26, 27 million or whatever it was. And when I checked the numbers, I almost had a heart attack because I had all the numbers, and I could have sworn my eyes told me that I had all 6 numbers. So I closed my computer down. I put the lottery ticket down. I went to the kitchen and fixed myself a drink, and I don't even drink. I went to the kitchen, and this was years back when I had just gotten out of the homeless shelter. I had just started my little business and got up to the point where I got out of the homeless shelter, and I was staying at an apartment that the government was paying for veterans, for homeless veterans. That was part of the Obama initiative to not have any veterans be homeless. So I was staying there, and I was running my business and everything, and I had bought like 10 lottery tickets. And I got up on a Sunday morning and was checking them, and you couldn't tell me that I didn't win $26 million. I closed it down. I went and fixed me a drink, and I sipped on the drink for about 10 minutes. I said, okay, let me go back and double check this again. And I went back and sat down, opened my computer up, and started going through the numbers again. I had them all except for the last number. The last number was off by 2 numbers, by 2 digits. I said, okay, well, I didn't win $26 million. So, and I honestly thought I had one like maybe, 1,500, something like that. I didn't play the lottery that much, so I didn't know that the amount that I did win was closer to $16,000. But after taxes and everything, it got cut down to about 11.5. Okay, so when I went to the store and went to cash it in, the guy said, "You know how much money you don't want?" I go, "No." He said, I can't cash this out here." I said, "What y'all want?" He said, "According to this, your winnings is about 16,000. Man, give me that ticket back." I got it, I signed it, went down to the lottery. Good thing I live in Tallahassee, which is the state capital. Went down to the lottery building, and this is on a Sunday, so I had to wait until Tuesday to go to the lottery building because they didn't cash them out on Mondays. I had to wait till Tuesday. So I had to sit on that ticket until Tuesday, went to the lottery building, and they gave me a Wells Fargo check for about just close to $12,000. It was after taxes and everything, it was a little over 12. It was about 12,408 something or something like that. And I was as happy as I can be. So I had been making a habit of playing the lottery at least once a week. Okay, I was spending about $20, every week, on the lottery. So I made the conscious effort to say that whatever money I was spending on the lottery, I was going to put it into the stock market, into buying, this type of stuff. And I'm making a conscious effort now to put, $1,000 a week into Bitcoins. And I've done my first transfer, which they say is that it has been done. I'm just waiting for it to clear. There it is right there. Okay, we started the transfer of $1,000 from Wells Fargo. Okay, should be completed by 5/1. So, and that's when? Tomorrow or day after tomorrow? What's the day? Today the 29th or the day the 30th? Does anybody know?
It's the 29th.
29.
All right. And there are 31 days in this month?
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
30.
All right. So day after tomorrow. So I hope it hurry up and kicks in so I can take advantage of these these attractive numbers with Bitcoin right now. Okay. And Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency. These are all my cryptocurrencies that I'm in right now. And if you notice, they're all green, which means they're all making money. Okay. Some of my other stuff that I'm invested in, as y'all can see here, WPG, that's a stock that they gave. Oh, they give you one stock when you, one share of a stock when you join not Rocket, when you join, what's this called? When you join Robinhood. So this is the one they gave me. And then I bought 181 shares into Aurora. Now, Aurora is cannabis. They're out of Canada, and where weed is legal, okay? And they supply all of their products to like grow cannabis and the cannabis cookies and all the stuff that you can do with cannabis. That's who they are. And I figured that would be a good thing to invest in because eventually it is going to be legal here in the United States all over too. It's already legal in the majority of the states and it's going to be legal all over. So I thought that would be a good thing to put some money in, and it is growing. I've got 11 shares in Forward. They're down. I'm thinking about dumping that because I'm thinking about dumping all my traditional type of stock like Forward. They're down and they've been down for a while. Okay. I've got 10 shares in Glue, which is a medical research firm. They work on making diabetes medicine and stuff that diabetics can do without having to take shots and stuff. They're doing pretty good. And this one right here, I'm not sure what the hell this is. ALIM. I gotta refresh my memory on that. Oh yeah, they're a medical research too. Engages in research and development of biopharmaceutical products. It operates through the U.S. and international geographic segment. So focus on the development of pharmaceuticals for the treatment of, this is the diabetic one for diabetic muscular anemia, whatever that is. Okay. So, I'm not just completely putting everything in cryptocurrencies, and I'm not putting everything in Bitcoin because I have Bitcoin Cash.
I know that one, not Bitcoin. So more than nowadays, I do.
And I have Bitcoin Cash. I have Litecoin, and I have this one right here is Ethereum Classic. All those are cryptocurrencies. Okay. Bitcoin by far is the highest performing one. So anyway, there you go. All right. Oh, is that answer your question?
Yeah. Nice little portfolio there, Mr. Butler.
Yeah, that's just one side of it. I also have an Acorn account where it's kind of nice too. My Acorn account is actually making me more money. I'll be honest with you, but now that I've added the Bitcoin, it's slowly gaining on it. I'm not sure if my Acorns log in. See if do I remember my Acorns log in? Log in.
Yes. Almost like the original.
Nope, that's not it. Yeah. Let's see here.
Gavin, can I ask you a question while you're doing that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just trying to, in my head, because I haven't started booking carriers yet, but something I was thinking about, when say you book your carrier and you have probably like 1 or 2 or 3 that you have, that you've been working with, how do you, I guess, balance it all out when I'm thinking to my head, if you get them on load, I'm assuming that you're gonna try to book them a back haul, but at the same time, how are you not missing out on booking your other carriers that you're representing?
And just save your own.
Okay. that's where your load management comes into play. You've got to, first of all, what you want to do is you want to put your carriers in a position, or you want to train them to really take your advice. And that's why the interns that we have who book freight for my company, a good portion of my carriers are undedicated. And about 60% of the dedicators that we do have them on are dedicators that I created by simply, running them on short runs and convincing them to come down from wherever they're at and run runs here, for during the week, and then park your truck and then you go back home. But they're running these little short runs, 2-3 runs per day, the same 2 or 3 runs every day, 5 days a week. They're back at the same spot. I'm at the end of the night, so they can actually sleep in a real bed, and stuff like that. And then they go home every weekend. Most of them are in the state that they live in, so they run and they're back home every night. And they're running the same 3 loads or same 2 loads every day, and they're making anywhere between $8,000 and $12,000 a week. And they're off every weekend and home every night. So when you start setting them up like that, then you free up your time, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. You want to try and concentrate on setting those up. And it's going to be kind of difficult right now because of the situation that the whole world is in. So, but that's slowly starting to turn. Okay, that is starting to turn. So, but and then with this new, somebody's got their mic open. It's kind of difficult to talk over just random conversations. But the new software company that I've been working with, that's going to solve a lot. That's going to solve all of that. Okay, so but for right now, what you need to do is, try to book your carriers out for more than just 1 load at a time. All right, try to find them connecting loads that would take them out for a couple of days and then bring them back, and you got them booked out for the whole week. Okay, try doing that, because once you do that, when you finish with one carrier, you're finished with him for the whole week, right?
Okay, I see what
then
you're
you
saying.
concentrate on your next carrier. And when you do that carrier, you finish with him for the whole week. Then you get on the next carrier. You see what I'm saying? And you can do this stuff at night before, while your carriers are, sleep or whatever the case may be. You can research loads and then shoot the brokers, a message and just to see if those loads are still available. And then if that load is still available, that first load is still available, and then you're gonna shoot all 3 brokers, or that loads you're finding out for the week. You're gonna shoot them all a message, say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and book this load. My carrier's gonna be there, on this date. They have time to pick that load up. Then you go to the next one. Hey, I want to go ahead and book this load. My carrier's gonna be there at this date, somewhere in between this time, and he'll be able to pick that up. Brokers love that. They really do. Because now you're taking stuff off their books that they don't have to worry about, right?
So if I'm copying right, you're saying when you're first getting started, you might want to think about booking your carriers out on loads that might take them a couple of days to complete. That way you free yourself up a little bit.
No, not loads that book them out for the week. In other words, you find them a load, like going from from Alabama to Texas, right? So you find them that load, right? And it's gonna take them 1 or a day and a half but let's say you find them load that takes them 1 day to run. So they're gonna pick up in Alabama, and then they're gonna be in Texas, or they're gonna pick up in Louisiana, they're gonna be in Texas the next, that night, right? So if that's where they're going, they're gonna be in Texas sometime that night, and they're gonna drop that load early Tuesday morning. When your truck is gonna be available, where they're gonna be at. So why not, while you're booking that load from Louisiana to Texas, go ahead and find them a load from the Texas spot to somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? And you book that one. Now, if you got them dropping off in Dallas, Texas, or whatever case may be, or say, well, let's say Beaumont, not Beaumont, Galveston. If they're dropping off in Galveston, right, and you know they're going to be in Galveston on Tuesday morning because they drop that load and they're going to deliver it early Tuesday morning. So you know they're going to be available sometime between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Tuesday morning. So you go and look for a load that's in Houston, which is only about 20 miles from Galveston, 20, 30 miles from Galveston. You go find them a load in Houston that they can just roll down the street and go pick up on Tuesday. You go in and book that on Sunday or Monday when you book the Monday load. You see what I'm saying? You're going to book that Tuesday load too. Now, if you know that the load is picking up in Houston and you know where it's going, if it's going down to San Antonio, and it's only going to take about 5 hours to get there, right? You know, so he's going to leave Houston with his load sometime around about 12 o'clock, which means he's going to be in San Antonio sometime around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock, which means he probably won't be able to drop it. He got to wait till the next morning, right? Which is going to be Wednesday, right? So what do? You go ahead and find a load that's leaving out of San Antonio or somewhere in Nacogdoches or somewhere close to San Antonio that's leaving out on Wednesday, trying to find one going back home or something.
I get that part of it, Mr. Butler, but I guess what I'm asking, for one, how do you know he's going to take that load?
You don't. That's where you got to be a salesperson. You understand? Look, no one said that this was a wrap, that this was going to be, everybody was going to lay down for you. Say, yeah, man, just do whatever the hell you say. You got to sell it, man. Why do you think we concentrate so much on being a salesperson?
So,
that's all we have.
Okay. So you're saying, but I'm saying, so how do you, if you're looking for that, you're saying book it, but really you're not booking it.
You're not booking it. What you're doing is you're pre-planning it. You're pre-planning the trip, right?
Gotcha.
And then now you can book it if you got your carrier in a relationship the way you should. If you have that conversation with your carrier beforehand when you first sign them up, say, hey, Ms. Carrier, let's have our consultation. Look, I want you to tell me how much money you want to make each week, right? All right. This is not hard to do, but you got to have a conversation, okay? You got to have communications, right? Anything is possible if you're already pre-communicated it. So what you got to do is you got to have a conversation with your carrier. Hey, Ms. Carrier, okay, let's have a conversation. I know that you have in your head a number that you need to have each week, okay? Take that number and add, another $1,000 to it, right? And then tell me what it is you need to take home every week. Then I would design a trip route, a load management scenario that would get you that every week. But that sound fair enough? Yeah. No, I want you to understand me now, because if I design for you a load that takes you out and then brings you back and you got what you want, I don't want you to tell me, well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go down to El Paso. I don't want to go to, Rio Grande City. I don't want to go there. But you just told me you need a certain amount of money every week, right? Now, you can either go where you want to go and not get that certain amount of money, or I can get you what you want each and every week, but you got to go where I seen you. Which is more preferable to you? Going where you want to go, or making money and going where I seen you? And I'm going to bring you back home at the end of the week, like you want to anyway. Which is it? That's a hard conversation that every dispatcher should be having with their carrier. before you start booking them in a freight. Now, most carriers, they will really appreciate that conversation because they know that you are very serious about what you do. And they will get a clear understanding that you are probably very good at what you do. Okay? Because you're not leaving this up to chance and just winging it. You know, they see that you have a plan in place. They see that you've done this before because no one else has ever spoken to them that way. Right?
Yes, sir.
And once you've had that conversation and everybody's in agreement, then it's not so hard for you to go out and find what he wants because you know what he wants now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you just make it happen. Now, are you going to find what he wants every single week, every single day? Nope. You're not. Because, the system is just not made that way. But with the Assurance USA and some other things you got coming on, you'll be able to do that because you'll be able to put him on an assurance policy and enhance his load up to $1 per mile more, thus getting him exactly what he wants or more, way more than what he wants, an extra $40,000 per year to an extra $60,000 or $80,000. It depends on how many loads he claims each week.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because look, a change is coming, and most of that change is coming because we made it. We made a conscious effort to sit down and come up with solutions to the problems that we have been able to uncover within this platform. That's the whole great thing about what we do and how we do it. So we talk about stuff every week, 3-4 times a week. We talk about the problems in the industry. We talk about the difficulties in doing stuff. Now, as we're talking about that, some of y'all probably should be rolling around in your head, what can I do to solve that problem? I can't solve them all, but I can probably solve this one. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you come up with stuff like the Assurance USA and the software, the IA and stuff like this and that. You start researching saying, how can I solve this? How can I solve this problem? How can I solve that problem? That's what Khalid did. How can you find the freight that pays the driver what they need to have to move that truck? He came up with straight dispatch. All from just solving a problem. He recognized a problem. He had, some skill and expertise, and he set out to solve a problem. That's all it is. Okay? That's all any of this is. The owner-operator has a problem of getting freight to pay him an X amount of money by the end of the week. You're going to address him and try to come up with a solution to that problem, right? So when you present him with a load package for the week, it's because you found a solution to his problem. Okay? But you got to have that conversation with him so that they understand that I'm here to solve your problem. Now, if I solve your problem and you tell me I don't want the solution, then that's not my fault, right? Do y'all agree with that?
Yep.
And no one said that, and solving problems is not going to always be easy. It's not.
But that's the nature of the business.
Exactly. That's the nature of the business. If it was easy, it wouldn't be a business. I'm just saying, really, it wouldn't be a business. Everybody can do it, right? So that's why it's a business. All right. All right, everybody, we get close to that time. It's almost 10 o'clock. I had promised my wife I was not going to overdo it tonight. So, we've talked about a lot. We've answered quite a few questions. I love Q&A. I really do, because it allows me to get an insight on what you all are really, lacking in and what you're really concerned about, what you really need help on. The Q&As are what kind of triggers my thought process into solving different things and coming up with different stuff that can make the industry better, make you all better, make you all more financially secure. You know, those are the things that kind of triggers that thought process. You know, it gives me something to work with, and I genuinely like Q&As. I know a lot of freight broker trainers don't like Q&A because it exposes their limited knowledge of the industry. I love Q&A, okay? Even when I don't know the answers, I love Q&A because I like doing the research and finding the answers. And there's nothing better than someone posing a question to you and you don't quite have the answer, but then you all start searching for it and y'all find it together. Okay, that's what a network does. You know, that's what working together does, and that's what this platform does. Okay, real quick, looking at this Acorn account, as y'all can see now, Acorn works a little bit differently than Robinhood. With Robinhood, you have more control of exactly what you invest in, what how much money you want to invest. The way Acorn is set up, you tell them how much money you want to invest each day or each week. Okay, I think I have mine set up on $25 per day. I think that's what I have it on. I think I have it on $25 per day. Okay, and I have my roundup at $1 or to the next dollar. Someone just signed up over the platform. And my roundup up to the next dollar. So what happens is this: if I go out and I buy something and my card in my bank account is attached to my Acorn account. So when I go out and I charge something with my bank card, and I try to charge everything, I try not to even carry cash. So every time I buy something or charge something with my bank card, if it's $3.02, Acorn will add the other 98 cents to round it up to the next dollar. So my card will be charged $4. And the other 98 cents will go towards my Acorn account for them to invest in the market for me. So in other words, they have investment strategists, and they will ask you questions when you first sign up with Acorn. Do you want to do moderate? Do you want to do more risky investments and whatnot? So when they build up your profile, then their professional investment strategists will invest your money for you. Now, I also have them to take out $25 per day on top of the $1 roundup. So I'm investing $25 a day plus $1 on up to a dollar roundup on everything that I purchase. Now I can change that from to right now. My reoccurring each day is $25 a day plus my roundup. Okay, now I can change that from $25 a day. I can take it up to 30, 40, 45, 50, just whatever I want to, I'll take it up to. Okay, I can switch it up and say I want to go to $30 a day. And tomorrow I can switch it back, or I can do that for a week and I can switch it back, or I can do it by the week, or I can do it by the month. You see what I'm saying? So if I want to update this, I go from 25 to 35. Now, well, first of all, before I do that, let's show you this. At 25, by the time I'm 95 years old, well, at 35, well, let me take it back. At $25 per day in my roundup, by the time I'm 95 years old, I'll have $1,540,887. That's what my investments will be worth. with them following that little investment, strategy, and I'll show you what they are investing in. Okay. Now, if I change that, and I can track this too, I can come down here, and I can track this. I can say, well, let's see what it would be at 85, $788,522. Well, let's see what it would be. I'm 55 now, so let's see what it'd be at 65. $133,850. Let's see what would it be next year. Let's see what I'm tracking on to do. If I take this down to next year, 57, 56, $12,800. Then at 57, $23,334. 58, $34,500, and so on and so forth. Okay, so at 65, I'm looking at that much money right there. Hold up. Yeah, 65. That's what I'm looking at based on $25 per day in my $1 roundup. Now, if you say, well, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 69 years old, or by the time I'm 67 years old, I want to be a millionaire. What do? You just change what? The amount of money you invest in each day. Right? If I do $100 per day, by the time I'm 68, oh shoot, I went too far. By the time I'm 68 years old, come on, thing, it's sticking on me, y'all. It's sticking. All right, by the time I'm 67 years old, I have $646,000. Y'all see how this is working now? So if I want to do $100 a day, that's where I'll be at by the time I'm 67 years old. All right. Now, if I want to take it back down, let's see, I think I'm going to change this to $35 per day. $35 a day. I'm setting this on reoccurring. So now, starting on tomorrow, they'll take out $35 each day from my account. Okay, and my new projections have changed. So, based on what the markets are doing right now, by the time I'm 67 years old, I have $233,911. It's a good way to kind of, to set up your own retirement. And can y'all see that? Do y'all see how that works?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a good way to set up your own retirement, to kind of gauge your own retirement and set things up, the way you kind of want to set them up. Let me refresh this real quick. So I want to show y'all something else. All right. So, because I don't plan on working all my life. Now, based on the $35 a day, it's going from 1.5 million to 2.1 million and some by the time I'm 95. But I don't want to wait that long. So let's say by the time I am 84, I can retire, with an extra $1 million. Y'all see how that works? Or if I can go and say, if I decide to call it quits, what's retirement now? 72?
Yeah, 72.
Yeah, it's like 72. So at 72, I'm looking at $389,262. Now, as we're looking at the potential, okay? So we look at that, and then we look at the present, and it tells you where I'm sitting at, right now with with Acorn, and it's doing slightly better than Robinhood right now. Oh, come on. What did I do? There we go. It's doing slightly better than Robinhood right now. As as you're gonna see here, so far I'm sitting on $2,862.24. Okay, that's what it's doing right now. Okay, I am up. I'm not down in the market, so I'm up. And my performance details, when it goes into your performance details, there's the value side to cash out right now. That's what I can cash out at. Okay, and down here it gives you how your portfolio breaks down. Okay, I've got 12.9% of my portfolio is invested in international large company stocks. I've got 19.81% of my portfolio is invested in corporate bonds. I have 10.39% of my portfolio invested in small company stocks. I've got 6.3% invested in real estate stocks. I have 19.71% of my portfolio is invested in government bonds, and I have 28.95% of my portfolio invested in large company stocks, and I have 3.2% in emerging market stocks. Now, this is considered a moderate. This is considered a moderate investment strategy. Now, you can change your investment strategy, but they base that. What they do is they base that investment strategy on my age, on what my current net worth is, and how much risk do I need to take, which means I don't need to take a whole lot of risk because I'm doing pretty good. But depending on where I am, in life, or my age and things to consider, stuff like that, that's how they kind of will set you up on your portfolio. And they have professionals who invest your money for you. I don't have to make any decision on where to put my money. Y'all see how that works? And it's kind of a plug and go thing. I plug it in, they're going to take $35 a day. I don't even got to think about it. When I charge something on my card, they're going to round up to the next dollar. I don't got to think about it. I just plug it in and just let it go. I just do what I always do. Spend money or buy stuff or whatever the case may be. But the money, a portion of the money I'm spending each day is going towards my retirement. It's going towards my investments. Y'all see how that works? And this may not be for everybody, okay? But I like it. If you look at the percentage view, this kind of lays out where your money is going. You can look at a quantity view, and you can look at a dollars view. Dollars view, got 564 going into that right there, which is government bonds. You got 567 going into corporate bonds. I've got 828. But this is showing you what I've made in each area. So far right now, I'm sitting on $828 in large company stock. I'm sitting on $297 in small company stocks. I'm sitting on $172 in real estate stocks. I'm sitting on $345.94 in international large company stocks. I'm sitting on $564.21 in government bonds. And I'm sitting on $567 in corporate bonds. But you can see the largest portion of my gains is coming from large company stocks. When they say large company stocks, they're talking about companies like, and you can go here and it'll tell you what companies that they're talking about. They're talking about companies like Walmart and different things like that. I'm trying to figure out where can I find that at. Large company stock, Vanguard, S&P 500 provides investors with exposure to 500 of the largest U.S. companies. Download the person here. So I can click on that and it will tell me what companies that they have my money in. I can check my annual reports, statements, and all that type of stuff. So, and it tells you the company that is handling that part of your portfolio. So, it's pretty good if for the person that doesn't know much about investing, you want to put you want to put it in the hands of professionals and let them do it. Just let them do it for you. So the combination of that and Robinhood gives me a nice little 1-2 punch. I'm letting professionals do it on one side. Now I'm doing it for myself on the other side. Y'all see how that kind of fits in together? Does everybody see that?
Yeah, that's real nice. That's real nice.
And just makes it kind of easy. You just it's nice to know that you have a plan for the future. It's one thing to save money in a bank, but hey, you all know as well as I know, this is where you make your real retirement at. You just kind of truck right along and let it do what it do. And you always got something to fall back on. At worst case scenario, if I need to come up with a couple $1,000s real quick, I know where to go get it at. Right? Something like that. So and as this goes along, that's gonna build and build and build and build and build and build and build. And next thing you know, and in a couple of years, you're sitting on some
Mr. Butler,
yeah.
I agree with you with the Acorn deal. I think that's a great deal. But I want to ask you a question about the Robinhood.
Yeah.
When you open an account with them, do they charge you a fee for purchasing stocks or options or whatever?
They don't charge it's not a fee. These are I like these because these are no fee. These are really no fees. Because you're not investing like crazy money.
Right. I understand that with Acorn, it's no fee.
With
Robinhood.
With Robinhood, I don't think there are any fees with Robinhood. Let me make sure that it should tell you right here on the site. Darren, when you looked up Robinhood, did it say that they were charging you the fees? I don't think they are.
No, they did not charge any fees.
Yeah, there are no fees with Robinhood. Account, banking, history, documents. There are no fees because if there were, usually when there are fees, they have them outlined on your portfolios and things like that.
Yeah.
No, but these are just for the novelist people who just want to,
right.
Well,
the reason I asked is because I know some brokers charge you a fee when you want to purchase some stock or a commission fee.
Yeah, some brokers, that's how they make their money. They don't make money by it, or you making money. If you make money, no, you don't. They still making money.
Right.
So, but these are kind of like do-it-yourself type platforms. What these companies do, they come up with these apps, and then they get investors to back them, and then as it gains in popularity, then it becomes worth X amount of money. And what they're trying to do is get to a point to where they can cash out and sell to some big firm and and create their exit strategy. That's what these things are. But for the people that's using them, it's a pretty good way to kind of put away for your future without.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like what E-Trade did with Schwab when Schwab bought out E-Trade.
Exactly. So, but they're a way to to put away for your future without really not knowing much about what you're doing. To be honest with you, it's pretty simple stuff. I'm not doing anything that requires a whole bunch of sit down and planning and strategies and all that type of stuff. I'm looking at. I look at this and I can look at certain stock and see what it's done over the years. That's why when I look at stuff, I just go in here and the first thing that I look at when I look at buying a stock, I check to see where it was 3 months ago.
Right.
Because if I can check to see where it was 3 months ago, that's probably where it's going to go back to in the very near future. Right?
Yeah, it's possible.
Then I check to see where it was a year ago. Right? And I start tracking it and see how well it's done over the past year. See where it came from and see if it's got a little track of dips and falls and going up, that type of deal. Then I check the whole 5-year term, right? This is where they started out, when it first hit the market at 75 cents. Then it kind of moved up. It stayed kind of steady. Then it jumped up a little bit to $6. Then it kind of moved up. Then it moved up to $21. Then it dropped back down and bounced around. And then 2013, then it jumped up around 26, then it jumped up around 30, then it jumped up around 42, then it kind of bounced around up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then here in May of 2018, in July, it kind of took a tumble. Because again, what happened in 2018, y'all? In 2016, what happened?
You got your President Trump.
Yeah, so in May of 2018, look, y'all said you want to, but who's ever in power is going to have an effect on the markets.
That's for sure.
Yeah, they have a monthly fee, but they don't charge fees to execute trade.
Exactly. So if the markets feel like they got a questionable person in power, the markets are not going to fare very well. Hey, I didn't make this stuff up. Y'all see it. But when people who generally instill confidence in the country and instill confidence in what's going on, the markets tend to fare well. Okay? Because as you all can see, in 2017, when we was going through some stuff, and then in 2016, this wasn't really doing that well. That's when, somebody, took their second term, that was moving into their second term into office, right? Because down here, we were suffering some bad times back then, because when that person took office, it was rough. It was rough. The market wasn't doing good. It just wasn't. It was rough. And then as they started to make some waves, the market started saying, this guy kind of know what he's doing. You guys on the right track. We're going up. We're making money. So they got more confidence. Get all the way up to the end of his term, and bam, at the height of it. But then, someone won the presidency, and then they come in, and then look what the market started doing. Yeah, they're not so confident. Oh no, there's some thing with that wall. You took us out of the Peace Accord. Doing things with the environment, and oh man, now you're doing this right here with the immigrants, and got children dying in cages, and oh Lord have mercy, we can't take that. The market. That's what the market does, man. I'm not making this stuff up. Okay, I'm not making this stuff up. This coincides with the time line. And then you got, here it is, the Corona thing, busting, doing okay. Then we got what? Corona, January. It was doing kind of good, and then the Corona hit, right? In February, March. Now they hear the news about what? The new drug starting to come back up. Y'all see what's happening? So what I'm looking for is it to do what? Get back to where? Here. Because I bought in when it was here, $5.97.
Well, you're talking about a second wave of this corona kicking in and being worse than first. So you make it a chance to get that $2.
But when that happens, that's what I need to buy. I need to pick up on my buying again. You see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
because and who knows, by then we may have a vaccine. Things might be a lot better. So I'm trying to buy everything I can now because it's gonna get back here because this was just what? Just last year.
Right.
So it's definitely gonna get back there, if not surpass that. So my 40 plus shares that's worth, this right here now, because I bought in at that right there, $5.97. A share, right? That was my buy-in. I bought in at $240.98. That's what my 40 shares cost, right? So now I'm at $275. So when it hits back up here, I'm gonna be sitting kind of pretty, right?
Yeah. Ethereum Classic, yeah.
Yeah,
you'll be looking pretty good. You get back up there.
Yeah, that's just another, digital currency. Another what's the thing called? Another cryptocurrency. Like Bitcoin, it is just a smaller,
right,
little less performing. So I kind of mix that up, on the cryptocurrencies because right now they're all making money. As you can see, all of the cryptocurrencies, I'm in the green. So they're all making money. So with these two platforms combined, I'm looking at well over almost $5,000 that I've got, I'll put away in the markets, right? So, what I'm looking for the day when this hits $50,000, and then, 100, 200, $500,000. Then, so, and if I keep, fueling that fire, it's going to get there sooner than later. So, you couldn't save this kind of money, on your own. You really could. Because if you could, you'd be a millionaire now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So take however old you is, take off 18 years, and that tells you how well you've done with saving money over the last 20, 25, 30, 15, whatever it is, over 18, to where you are now. That's how well you've done with saving money. Now, if I had started doing this way back, at 19 or 20 or at 25, right? I'd be woo, right?
Yeah.
This would be, already up in these right here would already be in the million. Both of them would be in the million, right?
Yeah.
So that's what so start where you're at, but realize this: you can't save that type of money on your own. You just can't. Okay, because if you could, you would have done it already.
Right.
So you've got to take a look at things, and you got to evaluate, and you got to make some positive changes. And and really, we should be having these type of conversations with our kids.
For sure, because I'm working on my grandkids now.
I mean, they don't teach you this in school, and that's a problem. They don't teach this in school. Yeah, they don't teach this in school. So if you got kids, and kids can do this type of stuff. You can get them started with their own Robinhood account or with their own Acorn account. Start them off young. By the time, if you got someone who's 9 years old, and you start them off on this right now, and you giving them a $50 per week or $50 per month allowance, right?
Yeah.
And they're investing 25 of it. You see what I'm saying? By the time they hit 18, they're doing better than you is.
Sure.
They can pay the mortgage, right? They definitely pay for their own college.
Yeah.
But this is how wealthy people make more money, and you have to start emulating what they do if you want to have some type of life that resembles what they have. I mean, it don't take a genius to figure that out. No, it really doesn't. All right, everybody. That's going to do it. I thank y'all again for tuning in. Those of you who are on Facebook who are kind of, like a fly on the wall, we enjoy you all. We ain't gonna break out the raid. We invited y'all in. We're not gonna shoot y'all away. But I appreciate y'all every week for tuning in. And I God knows I appreciate all the questions because that's how we learn. That's how you all learn. That's how I get better at what I do. See y'all back here on Saturday, 10:15 for the Six Figures Book and Faith from Home show. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
You too. You too. You too.
Good show, Mr. Butler. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
Have fun, Calvin. Have fun.
Good night, everybody.